walked out, flopped down on my back. Another trooper comes up to me and said, roll over on your belly. I said, I can't, I'm injured, I'm shot, right? Flipped me over on my belly, blood ran out of me like a faucet, and they handcuffed me behind my back.
That's Gerald Sykes recounting the events of July 29th when he was shot 3 times by New Jersey State troopers who were dispatched in error to his home. They fired through the glass door when they saw the 76-year-old Sykes carrying his legally owned shotgun inside his home in the middle of the night. On Friday, the State Attorney General's office released the results of the investigation, finding that the one trooper who fired was justified under the law. On Tuesday, I went to Sykes' rural property in Upper Deerfield, Cumberland County, for an exclusive interview with him to find out what he and his wife Margot, both police supporters, think about what happened to them.
It hasn't turned me against police, but it's made me wish that they had better training, better screening or something. So I know it's very difficult for them with the attitude today, but you know, things like this should never happen.
Sykes and Margot were in bed at 11:30 p.m. when she heard something on the back deck, which runs the length of their first floor bedroom and living room. Unsure of what was happening, Sykes grabbed his pistol and went to investigate.
Looked out, and 2 guys are looking back at me. They had blue knit shirts on, short sleeve. I saw no identification, no hats, nothing. They just stood there looking at me, and it gave me the oddest feeling because they didn't say a word. That's when I yelled to her, call 911, and they said back, don't call 911, you'll get charged with a false call. And right away, I'm saying, you know, my anxiety level goes boop, right? And then after I said, call 911 a second time, and she tells me that the phone line is dead, my anxiety level went up, and I figured, uh-oh, this is some really bad stuff. So I had no idea what was going to happen next.
The Attorney General's office said the troopers, who thought they were responding to a hung-up 911 call, identified themselves and shined flashlights on their uniforms, but Sykes and Margot say that didn't happen.
I was petrified all the time. I thought that's just it.
Switching his handgun for his shotgun, Sykes moved into the living room, thinking he needed to defend himself and his wife from intruders who might crash through the door at any moment. He says he stood with the shotgun at the ready, prepared to fire as soon as the men came crashing through the door, which he was all but certain they would.
And I walked along to about here, and all of a sudden, bam, 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 through that sliding glass door. That's when I got 2 in the chest and 1 in the groin. I went down, and from the floor, figured I might as well pull a shot off to let them know that I'm still alive and there's some return fire and they might get out of here.
Sykes retreated to the bedroom and dialed 911 himself.
The blood was all over here. It looked like a butcher shop.
What followed was a 40-minute discussion with a state police dispatcher who demanded that his wife place the weapon outside and Sykes come outside himself rather than sending medical personnel into the house. And actually, this dispatcher never told Sykes it was the cops that shot him. He found out when he was in the hospital the next day, he told him.
911, where's your emergency?
We had prowlers. They just shot me.
Who shot you?
The prowlers on the...
The prowlers shot you?
And how did this actually happen, though? That was part of the Attorney General's investigation. Well, the Attorney General found that there was a separate, unrelated 911 call that came into Cumberland County Dispatch, and the dispatcher there hit the wrong button and transferred the signal to Vineland Dispatch, which recorded a 2-second 911 hang-up, and they dispatched troopers to Sykes' house. Why? They thought it was a cell phone call, and there's a cell phone tower on the Sykes' property. That's what the address came up as.
If I'd known it was the police, I would have done whatever they said. If they said, put your hands up, I'd have put my hands up. If they said, unlock the door and we want to come in, I would have let them come in. I would have done stuff that I didn't have to do and fought later because you don't fight with police.
Sykes' attorney says they're considering his options and are not sure whether or not they're going to sue. The state police said the matter is under administrative review, but declined further comment.
If Sykes is right and he did look out and he heard something to the effect of, you know, don't call 911, right. You're going to, right. We're the cops. That might have worked a little bit better than saying don't call 911. That's what a burglar would say almost, is don't call the cops.
Crazy
it's a little, and
Thank
the
God
fact
no
that he
killed.
survived.
Thank God
no one's killed, but he still got a bullet in his upper thigh because the
serious
doctors
stuff.
could not take it out. He's going to have that for the rest of his life.